March is Self-Injury Awareness Month. Between 15 to 17% of adolescents and young adults engage in non-suicidal self-injury in their lifetime. Here to tell us a little bit more about self-injury is Dr. Tim Perry with Frontier Health. Dr. Perry, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, first off, let's talk a little bit about what self-injury actually is.
Well, actually it is a maladaptive coping mechanism. It is an outward expression for an internal emotional distress that is so overwhelming the individual doesn't know how to express it appropriately. So they cope with it in this means of externalizing the pain through self-injury. And it can be anything from as mild as an abrasion to very serious lacerations that need medical attention to even the ingestion of poison. So it has a wide range of what it can mean by self-injury.
And I know that you talk a little bit about what leads to this, but are there any signs that people can be looking out for as you hope to bring awareness to this month?
If someone's having significant mood swings, or they're significantly depressed, if they're wearing clothing that doesn't fit the season, like long sleeves during the summer, trying to cover up something, or a jacket over themselves during warmer weather, if they're very secretive about things in their room, like they're hiding something, if they're not wanting to talk about their feelings or their emotions, or you mention it to them and they begin to cry, those could be indications that someone has an emotional distress that they're not able to express, and it could be that they are injuring themselves as a way to get that emotion out to the surface.
And I know that, there are a lot of ways that people can kind of cope and help issues like this, but what are some suggestions that you have if somebody at home is thinking, hey, maybe this is an issue I have, and what can they do?
The first thing I would suggest is get professional help. There is treatment. It is ability to learn different coping mechanisms than self-injury. There are a few tips someone who's dealing with it can have. We call it an emergency kit, and it's not like a first aid kit, but similar. It can have things in that kit, whether it's a bag or a box, things like a journal to write your feelings down versus expressing them through self-injury, art supplies that you can actually draw your feelings out, pictures of somebody that you love or care about, music could be in there that soothes you, even something that you would squeeze and hold on to when you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself. And those triggers begin to happen. Turn to your emergency kit, pull out some of these resources until you get that coaching and that help, that psychotherapy that can help you actually figure out better ways to cope than self-injury.
And let's talk about how important it is to go ahead and get help the moment that you realize this could be an issue for you.
Absolutely, because it tends to be cyclic and it can get worse as it cycles. Someone who self-injures the first 2 or 3 times may start feeling guilty and even angry at themselves for doing it, and then that anticipates more self-injury. So it gets worse as it goes along. And then the injuries themselves, the pain that they associate with the injury, they become immune to and numb to, and so they create more pain faster and sooner, and that can become life-threatening at times. So it's very important to recognize if you're having that and you need to talk about the signs and symptoms of the deeper distress. There are professionals out there that can help you. Get into that treatment, figure out ways to deal with this rather than self-injury.
Well, Dr. Perry, always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks so much for coming on First at 4 today. We look forward to seeing you again next month. But for more information about Self-Injury Awareness Month, you can reach out to Frontier Health by contacting that email right there on your screen.